Alright guys, we're back. New reaction from the channel American Redact, titled Tony Hinchcliffe has never been more delusional. And you know for sure that's some shit that we've said over here. You know we're big Tony Hinchcliffe fans. We got a little statue of him right here in the video. You see him, he's on the floor. He's always in the video. Got a Kill Tony poster in the background. But we gotta hear. We gotta figure out what this is about, man. Why does American Redact think Tony's delusional?
I had a debate with Tony Hinchcliffe. This is actually a good debate for this show, because I posted. They were like, "You guys should do Skankfest in Austin because it's got the best comedy scene in the world." And I was like, "Well, no, New York still has the best comics." And I wrote that. And then Tony Hinchcliffe screenshotted it to me and said to me, "He's like, really? You think New York's got better comics than us?" And then he was like, "Who do you have?" And then I just fucking wrote. I mean, I'll pull up the list. I just like, and then I was like, "Who do you have? Rogan and Tom Segura, and then Roseanne is like the third best,
and Shane sometimes.
Shane sometimes.
Tim Dillon.
And you wrote, "I'm sending an assassin squad to kill you right now."
I mean, it is a dumbass argument anyways. That only somebody like Tony Hinchcliffe with the ego that he has would get into. Why argue about that? I mean, New York has always had the best comedians, okay? That's just what it is, man. No, it doesn't even matter where they go, all right? The best comedians are developed in New York. Sebastian Maniscalco spent many years in New York, okay? The top comedians always do time in New York. It's almost a must. But Tony's got a little ego, so of course he would, you know what I mean? Let's hear some more.
Wow. It's all the guys who killed Tony.
So it seems that Tony Hinchcliffe's astronomically large ego just continues to get worse. Because apparently Tony genuinely believes that the Austin comedy scene has more talent than New York's, which might just be the most—
Wait, did I just see David Lucas as a part of the Killers of Kill Tony? How? He retired. He retired from Kill Tony. That's like Michael Jordan going on tour with the NBA, you know, promoting the NBA. Like, you retired, guy. You're no longer a part of this thing that you're, you know, adding money to and bringing fans to. But again, we all know that David can't sell tickets any other way. That's why he keeps coming back to Kill Tony. He's one of the first guys to retire from a thing, aside from Michael Jordan, and come back 7 times.
Most delusional and idiotic thing to come out of that guy's mouth. I mean, New York City is the literal birthplace of American stand-up comedy, and a lot of people consider it the comedy capital of the world. So you really just can't compare it to Austin. It's like comparing the NBA to a middle school rec basketball league. It just doesn't make sense. But being that Tony Hinchcliffe is the world's largest egomaniac, of course he thinks that Austin is the comedy mecca of the universe.
No, that's the thing. Like, the average comic, the guys you don't even know about, like, blow the guys in Austin away. Like, absolutely. All the guys who are doing the Mothership, that small room, every one of them that moved from New York couldn't even get on stage at the Stand. Couldn't even get on stage at the New York Comedy Club. These guys were failing in fucking New York. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact.
Trying to start a war.
No, it's no war. They know what the fuck's up. They left New York because they...
Well, let's start a war, guys. We're here for it. I'm here for it. Okay? Let's really see. Because the one thing that I find interesting is a lot of the guys in Austin are only performing in Austin. They're not going to LA, they're not going to Vegas, they're not going to these other clubs and performing anywhere. Much like the people in LA. Whereas the guys in New York, they're all over the place. They're almost rarely in New York, okay? Let's use, for example, Mark Norman, okay, right? He's doing 12, 13 spots in a week's time, at least, in just New York. Then he's traveling, doing spots, clubs, you know, selling out. Is there anybody in Austin that's doing... Is Tony Hinchcliffe doing that? Is Tony Hinchcliffe doing Kill Tony on Monday? Then Thursday, Friday, he's in Orlando, right? Then right? He's not doing that. Just like Bobby Lee. Like, Bobby Lee's performing in, you know, Bakersfield, and then he's performing in Los Angeles. He's not leaving California. So to think that you can even get good without doing that is wild.
Because they couldn't cut it here. Let's get real.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let's get real.
So this little iMessage war that Louis J. Gomez had with Hinchcliffe is actually pretty funny because there's always been this underlying competition between Tony and Louis. Like, even though Louis insists that they love each other and are just busting each other's balls, every time you see Tony doing one of Louis's shows, Tony is always hardcore sneak dissing Louis and bragging about how Kill Tony is way more successful than the Legion of Skank.
Well, let's be honest, guys. Tony does that to fucking everybody. That's what makes him unlikable. This isn't a shtick. This isn't something he started doing to play into this Vince McMahon character, okay? This is who the fuck he is. His ego has always been this. He's always felt better than everybody else, but he has nothing to prove that. Much like his stand-up career. He's sitting here critiquing all of these comedians that might have more credits than himself. Every single Monday, there's people coming on to this fucking show, his podcast, and he gets to mock them, make fun of them, feel better than, and yet they're basically the same guys, same girls. He's no different than any open micer, any performer that comes on there with, 60 seconds worth of comedy. That's as good as he'll ever be. Like I said, he's not traveling. He's not doing stand-up shows anywhere else outside of even Texas, I would imagine. I doubt he's leaving Austin, but he might perform some other places in Texas. Like, I was in Houston last week. Like, fucking buddy, that's an hour and a half away. Whatever the fuck, right? But I think deep down, Big J, Dave Smith, and Louis genuinely just don't like this guy. I think most people that speak with him don't like him. I don't even think Red Band likes him. I think he is insufferable. And he's continued to be that way, but he gets to sit on his little throne during Kill Tony and feel better than comedians that he's as good as. That's about it. And it's sad because people are like, oh, he's so good, so talented. Anybody could do that. Any person in the world could do that. It is not, you get to sit on stage behind a table with 4 other people on microphone, so it doesn't even have to rely on just what I say. Easy. Easy as fuck. Let's hear some more.
Skanks and Story Wars, which are, of course, the 2 live podcasts that Louis J. Gomez co-hosts. And you see, Tony brags about his success all the time. I mean, it's pretty much the only thing he does when he's not on stage, but when he does it with Louis, he seems to make it pretty personal.
Good to be here. I'm glad thank you guys so much for having me. I filmed Netflix Kill Tony, 12 years in the making this week. It comes out at midnight. I sold out 2 Bridgestone arenas here in Nashville, but man, being at Story Wars on a Sunday night in the closet connected to Zanies is the highlight. It's the highlight of my week because this is what it's about. It's about the roots. It's about the grits and the grit.
You see what I mean? He's gonna lean into it as if he's pretending. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. But he wanted to say all that shit on purpose. He's gloating. That's who he is. He's a fucking egomaniac. This is a true villain. I mean, Shane Gillis said it best when he's like, Tony Hinchcliffe legitimately tried to be the Joker. He does the laugh, right? You could see that. You believe it.
Gravy of comedy. It's not all about the big Netflix deals and arenas. This is where it all starts, is in tiny cavernous rooms, just like we started Kill Tony in the belly room 12 years ago. So if you guys play your cards right in 12 years, you could be successful too.
I'll be 60.
I also hate this idea that people think that Netflix is somehow the pinnacle. Like, oh, we got it on Netflix, so that's special. It's like, there's motherfuckers with YouTube specials with more views than you got on Netflix, buddy. Like, doesn't mean shit. Old people have Netflix, guy. And they don't give a fuck about a show with kill in the title.
Holy shit. This is a very, very exciting panel.
This is a crazy panel. I'm very excited to have all of you guys on competing on Story Wars. There's maybe a new Story Warrior crown.
Here's the thing. Louis knows, and so does Jay. They know how people talk about Kill Tony. They watch these videos. I guarantee you they have watched this American Redact video already. So they know for sure, hey, we keep bringing this fucking guy on. They keep talking about us. I mean, come on, bro.
Tonight.
I love the fact that you guys finally took my advice and started a show with a format and tables and red microphones and buckets. This is very exciting, really smart.
Wow,
When does the cat make a noise exactly?
It just seems like Tony Hinchcliffe tries to belittle Louis J. Gomez at every chance he gets because Louis J. Gomez hosts podcasts that are somewhat similar to Tony's, being that they both have live audiences. But that's really the only thing these shows have in common. At least Louis J. Gomez relies on the talent of the comics on
What the fuck is Andrew? Why is Andrew Schultz so blinky there? That was weird. What are you on there, Schultz? Too much Adderall?
stage rather than having an R-rated talent show with random people he pulled off the street like Kill Tony does. Tony also might be jealous of Louis J. Gomez's ability to actually release a comedy special. Like, when it comes to pure stand-up comedy,
Fact.
Louis blows Tony out of the water. So in order to...
Forever. You guys, I just got paid. Someone just gave me $100.
Yeah,
I go, what is this for?
We pay our guests,
They
Tony.
go, you pay your, they pay here, and I go, that's how you know the show's not that successful. You do Rogan or Kill Tony, you
don't get paid anything.
You get to sell tickets for the
Yeah,
rest
that's
of your
true.
life.
Nah, not really. Not really, and we all know that. We all know that. It's not how it works. Cam Patterson is by far the most successful thing to ever happen to Kill Tony. And he was barely on the show, you know what I mean? In and out that quick. On to better things. Everybody else that's been on the show is still either doing a podcast or doing Kill Tony. That's it. Maybe they're also opening for Tony and doing spots where they're getting booed off stage. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. But guys, go watch the rest of this. Support American Redact. Hit the like, hit the subscribe here and there. Yeah. Until the next one.